Okay, good morning. Convening the Committee on Energy and Environmental Protection. It's Thursday, April 11th, 9 a.m. in room 325. This is hopefully our last hearing of the year before conference. We're here to hear some Senate resolutions, starting with SCR 220, urging the Hawaii construction industry to increase recycling of construction and demolition debris and to expand the usage of recycled construction materials to the greatest extent possible. And we have two individuals who testified in support. No one in person or on Zoom. Was there anyone else here to testify? All right, seeing none, next on the agenda, SCR 97. This is requesting the Energy Office to convene a renewable liquid fuels working group to study local production, development, and incentives for renewable liquid fuels. And first up, we have the Energy Office.
Aloha Chair, Vice Chair Member Maria Tome, Hawaii State Energy Office. We will stand on our written testimony in support with recommended amendments. Thank you.
Thank you. We have Hawaii Farm Bureau in support, Pacific Biodiesel Technologies on Zoom, not present in support. Island Energy Services in support, PAR Hawaii, present.
Hello, Chair Lowen, Vice Chair Cochran, members of the committee. Mark Inouye from PAR Hawaii. PAR would like to stand on our support of this testimony, and I'll be here for any additional questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Pono Pacific in support.
Aloha Chair, Vice Chair, member of the committee, Chris Bennett, Pono Pacific, in support, and will stand on our testimony. Thank you.
Thank you. Hawaiian Airlines.
Hi, good morning, Chair Lowen, Vice Chair Cochran, and members of the committee. My name is Alana James. I'm the Managing Director of Sustainability Initiatives at Hawaiian Airlines, and we will stand on our testimony in support, and I'm available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Airlines Committee of Hawaii.
We'll stand on our testimony in support.
Thank you. And then finally, Energy Justice Network, Mike Ewell on Zoom. Not present. All right, is there anyone else here to testify on this measure? If not, members' questions. If not, next on the agenda, SCR 74, SD1, requesting the Department of Health to conduct a study of methods used in other states to monitor air pollutants emitted by municipal waste combustion facilities. And first up to testify, we have Department of Health.
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and committee members. Marianne Ross here from the Department of Health. The department stands on its written testimony in support, and we're here if you have questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Climate Protectors Hawaii in support, Environmental Caucus of the Democratic Party of Hawaii in support, Covanta Energy with comments on Zoom.
Yes. Excuse me. Thank you, Chair, Vice Chair. Covanta is the operator of the H-Power facility, which manages the waste of the city and county of Honolulu and provides 10% of the island of Oahu's electricity. The Covanta would only comment that there are several inaccuracies in the resolution. We don't think that it is needed to have a study, but if there was to be a study of other states, I think it would just demonstrate that Hawaii's air pollution monitoring system is rigorous and in line with other state and federal standards. Thank you.
Thank you. Then we have the Energy Justice Network on Zoom, still not present? Not present. And one individual in support as well. Anyone else here to testify on this measure? If not, members' questions. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, we'll go ahead. Go ahead, Melody.
Okay, thank you very much. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the committee. My name is Melody Aduha, and I'm co-chair of the Environmental Caucus of the Democratic Party of Hawaii. We stand in strong support of this resolution. We believe that other states in which they have incinerators and also operated by Covanta, they use much more stringent methods in doing their monitoring. Here we have very limited monitoring with only four pollutants that are being monitored, when in actuality we would be requesting that 22 different pollutants be monitored continuously, including the very toxic dioxins and furans, as well as PFAS. Therefore, a study of all of the other types of monitoring systems that are used throughout the nation would give the Department of Health a more detailed method as to how they should require Covanta to do its monitoring in this case. Thank you very much, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you. Anyone else here to testify? If not, members' questions. Quick question for Department of Health. Just, I noted Covanta's testimony or comments, they said they believe the testing is rigorous. And I think last time we heard these resolutions, we had a conversation about the fact that there's only testing once a year for mercury. And there's, warning in advance, like the, facility knows that day that testing is occurring. And just given how hazardous of a pollutant and toxin mercury is, I mean, would you characterize once a year with advance notice as rigorous?
I think, mercury is one of the pollutants, excuse me, that, we would look at. I know there are other states that do mercury testing. So definitely that would be one of the pollutants in this study that we would take a closer look at.
Do you think that once a year with advance notice is rigorous testing?
I don't know if that word rigorous, if that, the definition, if we have the same definition of it, but it does meet federal standards. But again, we do know that other states do test for it, and it's something that we would definitely look into further.
Okay, all right, thank you. If no further questions, we'll move on to the next measure on the agenda. Also relating to combustion facilities. So this is SCR 76 requesting Department of Health to conduct a feasibility study on implementation of continuous monitoring and sampling technologies in waste combustion facilities and municipal solid waste landfills. And first up to testify is Department of Health.
Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, committee members. Mary Ann Rossio again for the Department of Health. Department stands on its written testimony offering comments, and we're here if you have questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And then Climate Protectors Hawaii in support. Environmental Caucus of the Democratic Party on Zoom.
Thank you very much. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. My name is Melody Aduha. I'm co-chair of the Environmental Caucus of the Democratic Party of Hawaii. And again, we would strongly support this resolution as it calls for a study to determine whether continuous monitoring of the pollutants from an incinerator plant is justified. And in this case, our argument is it is, because it's only 4 pollutants that are continuously monitored, in which we have 22 pollutants altogether, and if only 4 is being continuously monitored, then we really don't know the extent of the pollutants of the other, the extent of the pollutants that the others have in the community. And that includes dioxins and furans and PFAS, and as mentioned in the last testimony, also heavy metals. Therefore, we do strongly support this resolution, and we request that it pass. And I am available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. And then we have Covanta Energy on Zoom.
Yes, thank you, Chair, Vice Chair. Covanta proposes Resolution 76. I'm Fraser Blaylock with Covanta, excuse me, that we operate the H Power facility. The facility operates well, dramatically below its state and federal air emission standards. We strongly disagree that the emission control technology that we employ at the H Power facility is obsolete or inadequate. And the idea that we test once a year with advance notice, that is in some way a means by which we can influence the emission results is factually incorrect, and would be happy to provide you with the procedures and requirements that go along with the annual stack testing, in addition to the continuous emission monitoring that we do at the facility. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Energy Justice Network on Zoom, now present.
Mahalo, Chair, Vice Chair, and committee members. Thank you for having me. My name is Mike Ewald with Energy Justice Network. I'm standing in support of this resolution. Covanta claims that they operate well below standards. However, there will be new standards soon that EPA is adopting, so we'd have to look at what they are emitting compared to those new standards that will be coming out in the next few years. But we also don't know if we don't look, and so for a lot of pollutants, which they're monitoring just once a year, they do know in advance is coming up. And even if they weren't manipulating it in some way, they're still missing the higher amounts that come out when they start up, shut down, have malfunctions, or in variability in the waste stream. However, we do know that Covanta has been busted in the past for manipulating both continuous monitors and has a track record of manipulating their stack test, of basically stockpiling waste they think burns cleaner to burn on the testing day, when that's not really representative and it's not proper to be doing that. It's also incorrect that EPA has it covered with these new standards that will be coming out soon. They are leaving it optional to have continuous monitoring for these different pollutants. And the argument that reliability is in question is very suspect, because right now we're relying on reliability of testing once a year for certain pollutants that can be underestimated as much as 1,300 times in the case of dioxins, and that is more unreliable than we can possibly have if we allow this technology to continuously monitor these pollutants. Mahalo.
Thank you. And then we just have one more testifier, Sherry Pollock, in support, not present. Was there anyone else here to testify on this measure? If not, members' questions? Quickly for Department of Health. Sorry, just to clarify, because I think we established this in the last reso hearing that we had. It is correct, because this is what you told me.
Yeah.
That the testing for mercury occurs once a year and there is advance notice.
Correct.
Okay, yeah, so, thank you.
Thank you.
That's all. Yeah, if no further questions. You have a question? No. Vice Chair, okay. We will move on to SCR 130, urging Department of Health to take all action necessary to require wastewater treatment plants to test sewage, sludge, and any other residual materials for the presence of PFAS. First up to testify, we have Hawaii Reef and Ocean Coalition in support, Americans for Democratic Action in support, Sherry Pollock in support, and then we have Melody Aduha on Zoom.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. My name is Melody Aduha. I'm co-chair of the Environmental Caucus of the Democratic Party of Hawaii, and we stand in strong support of this resolution. This resolution has come about because we are aware that the Schofield Treatment Facility, which takes in sewer, sludge, and wastewater in 5 different military installations, is now being managed by Aqua Engineers, and 100% of their reclaimed water is sold under market price to the farms in central Oahu. And so there is a concern that if they are not required to test for PFAS, then we don't know whether or not that water that is being used on our farms is entering, of course, the produce that they grow, as well as the soil and the groundwater in which the reclaimed water is then spread upon. And in addition to the sewer sludge used for fertilizer, again, there is no test for PFAS. And given all of the new rules now that the EPA has instituted, it's very important that we know whether or not this forever chemical is entering our environment and our food chain, and is then bioaccumulated in our bodies when we consume it, consume it. Thank you very much, and I am available for any questions. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all the testimony we have. Was there anyone else here to testify on this measure? If not, members' questions. If not, we'll move on to the next resolution. SCR 132, requesting the Office of the Governor to convene a working group to plan for the remediation of PFAS substances in the state. And first up to testify, we have testimony from Board of Water Supply and Support, Hawaii Reef and Ocean Coalition in support, and in Sherry Pollock in support, and then Melody Aduha on Zoom. Go ahead, please.
Okay, thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, Chair, Vice Chair, and members of the committee. My name is Melody Aduha, co-chair of the Environmental Caucus of the Democratic Party. We feel very strongly for this resolution that a working group is necessary and should be required. The Environmental Caucus has tried for several sessions to try to get a similar type of working group put together. And now that the EPA has come out with a national standard, it's very important and incumbent that our Department of Health also come up with a working group and try to come up with a plan in order to avoid any further PFAS entering our environment, as well as eliminating that PFAS contamination that is already in our environment. Thank you very much, and I am available for any questions.
Thank you. That's all the testimony we have. Anyone else here to testify? Any questions, members? If not, next on the agenda, SCR 170, urging the Department of Health to investigate and implement policies to reduce importation of products, packaging, or materials containing PFAS into the state. And first up, we have Department of Health on Zoom.
Good morning, Chair Lowen, Vice Chair Cochran, and Representative Peruso. This is Michael Burke. I'm with the Hawaii State Department of Health Food and Drug Branch. We submitted written testimony commenting on this measure, stand on our written testimony, and I'm available for any questions should you have. Thank you.
And then Sherry Pollock also in support. That's all the testimony we have submitted in advance. Anyone else here to testify on this measure? If not, members' questions. If not, last resolution on the agenda, SCR 128, requesting Department of Health to establish a PFAS testing grant program in collaboration with the University of Hawaii. And we have Sherry Pollock, one individual in support. Is there anyone else here to testify on this measure? If
Chair,
not,
if I
members'
may.
questions. Oh, Melody, go ahead.
Thank you. I did submit late testimony. With regards to SCR 128, the Environmental Caucus stands in strong support. This resolution stems from the fact that a lot of foods that we eat, such as the fish and shellfish and other items, are not being tested for PFAS contamination. And since PFAS has the quality of bioaccumulating, it is very important that the general public is made aware of the potential risk and toxicity in consuming seafood amongst other food substances. Take, for example, if you have PFAS contamination in the water and you consume that water for a month, that would be the same amount of PFAS contamination you would consume with one fillet of fish. And so absent a testing mechanism for businesses and private individuals and organizations, which this resolution calls for a grant program so that tests can be done, then a lot of this information is not made public. And so the types of warnings and notice is not being made, and that creates a unreasonable risk to the public as well as the environment. Thank you.
Thank you. If there's no one else here to testify on this measure, are there any questions, members? Seeing none, I think we can go, should we read, are you ready for decision-making?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go straight to decision-making. So first up, you know what, actually brief recess for decision-making. convening. So we're gonna, all except for SCR 97, we're gonna pass these forward as is, and SCR 97, we're gonna make a few amendments. So we're gonna vote on them all at once. So the recommendation for SCR 220, SCR 74, SCR 76, SCR 130, SCR 132, SCR 170, and SCR 128 is to move these forward as is. Members, any discussion? If not, Vice Chair, please take the vote.
Okay, thank you. Voting on all the SC, can I just do it in one full swoop? Or do I have to list every number?
Just, why don't you read them just to be safe?
Okay, all right.
Everything except for 97.
Voting on SCR 220, 74, 76, 130, 132, 170, and 128. Chair's recommendation is to pass as is. Both chair and vice chair vote ayes. Let's see. Representative Gates is excused. Representative Kahaloa. Aye. Representative Peruso. Aye. Representative Woodson is excused, and Representative Ward, chair. These measures are adopted.
Thank you. And then on SCR 97, we're going to adopt the amendments of the Energy Office, which, focuses into transportation, changes the date, and then makes a few changes to the membership. So it would be removing Hawaiian Electric, Hawaii Gas, and KIUC. And then additional change that I'm making that's not in HSCO's testimony is that instead of specifying a representative from Airlines for America, we're going to change that to a representative from the airline industry. And then the language is still in here that says any others as invited by the chairperson. So presumably there'll be broad representation from a number of people in the airline industry who have expressed interest, but we're not going to list them out and name each one. So with those recommendations, members, any discussion? Seeing none, Vice Chair, please take the vote.
Okay, voting on SCR 97, SD1, Chair's recommendation is to pass with amendments. Both Chair and Vice Chair vote aye, noting the excused absences of Reps. Gate, Woodson, and Ward. Members present, any noes or reservations? Seeing none, Chair, your measure is adopted.
All right, thanks, and we are adjourned.